All right. I just decided to go live. Wasn't going to, but I was like, you know what? I don't know. I just kind of felt like going live. So, uh, yeah, still kind of getting everything set up this morning. Uh, Had actually a pretty nice morning. Woke up a little early, but ended up just petting the dog and relaxing. It's kind of nice. So, Amazon. I like Google too, but I think I might have already missed Google. Um, Amazon looks like it's popping. All right, so Amazon is looking good. So I might do an option today. I'm surprised this is still going up. I was thinking that this was gonna dip back down at some point. It hasn't. DocuSign did a little bit yesterday, Monday, of course. Kind of figured that. Going to be kind of keeping an eye on for a pop going above 65, I believe, on DocuSign. So what we might do is we'll put in an alert at or above right there so we can catch that. Etsy, I was kind of interested in it, but it just seems like it's trading in a range right now, and I don't want to play with that. I don't. And oh, there's two people watching me. Good morning. Oh, excuse me. Good morning to anyone who's watching me right now. So yeah, I'm feeling kind of good on Amazon. Uh, FedEx is a stock that somebody, one of my viewers, who's learning how to trade, actually started trading. This is the stock that he's playing with, and I don't remember how much he's up. He hasn't talked in the. All right, so that was my Google VPN decided to flip out there for a second. Don't know why, but okay, it did what it did. Um, Netflix is a stock that is getting traded quite a bit inside the group between Obsidian and Andy. I have not personally done a trade on this at all, but looks actually pretty darn good. But because I kind of missed out on it, I don't want to go FOMO on it and try to go after it. Um, all of these, I think they need to pull back. So Andy just said he is looking at the usuals, Netflix, Tesla, and Nvidia. Yeah, I haven't looked at Nvidia yet. We got Nvidia right here. Yeah, the low 500 definitely could be an area where it'd be looking at some resistance. Yeah, agreed. I'm doing the same thing. Um, I mean, Amazon, dude. Look at Amazon. So on the day chart over here, that's a really big pop up right there outside of a range. I think we're gonna see a continuation for today. And there's not anything really stopping it. Good morning, Deroy, Delroy. The least amount of money you could invest in anything is the amount of money that you're willing to risk. Okay. You know, you have to understand when you're doing any investment, it's always there's risks involved. Never use your rent money to buy a stock. Um, I think Amazon is going to go up by a couple dollars uh in the short term, but I would not I don't know if I would want to hold on to it on the long term. I think I would wait until a drop, like something like right over here happens. Or just like a V shape kind of starting forming. Right now, it is a little bit on the elevated side, but I do think we're going to get a little bit of ground headway, maybe get up towards the 160 before we start seeing a drop out of it. That's going to be my guess. Google, I don't know where it can go to yet. Think I think in the long term we might see 150, but there's not a whole lot that shows or proves that one way or the other. But generally, some of these technology stocks, they generally go up over a period of time. Um, Ford, if you're learning to trade, Ford would have been a fantastic stock to buy at this huge drop right over here. God, I wish I did. I bought it on paper, but I didn't buy it with real on the drop like I should have. And I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt for it because I should have. So, um, yeah, Ford. I think Ford still would be a good stock to buy into. If you want to buy a couple shares here, even if it drops and comes back down to here, you just buy more. I think Ford is still in a really decent buy area, and it moves relatively slow. So, um, you're not really going to go wrong with it. Whenever I go trucking, I'm probably going to end up buying a couple $1,000s worth of Ford for that exact reason. That I can hold on to it for a period of time and not be overly worried about it. So that's kind of like my idea or my I guess you would say my plan I had with Ford. So Queen is still doing really good. Let's take a look at Spy. Kind of the same deal. Of course, Queen and Spy are going to be like match pairs. They're going to be doing very similar to both. Uh, Honestly, with Queen and Spy probably having a good day, just doing a option trade on SPX might be a very good deal to do. I might actually do that. 47.54. 45. So we need to get there plus $8. We might take a look at those options a little bit later in the day. When they start to lose a little bit of value, we might take a look at those. So I'm still sick. I'm still under the weather. My head is still hurting. Not like it was before. Talking about that, I'm gonna grab some medication real quick. Give me 1 second. So I feel a lot better, but I'm still not 100%. How's everybody else's morning going? Everybody having a good morning? And I think I have the trucking company I'm gonna end up going with figured out. Um, I got between two options right now. Good morning, Obsidian. Let me actually check on that real quick. But uh, so yeah, I still got the two options with the two different trucking companies. I'm not gonna say their names yet. But I'm trying to go with a small carrier. I don't want to go with a mega carrier. But I don't want to go with a really small carrier. I'm looking at some trucking companies in the medium size range, just because there's some benefits to it. But we're gonna see what comes of that. Still waiting to find out. Shoot. Woo! My nose. And that's about the only thing that's still getting me. That and a little bit of a headache. Actually, let me take some aspirin just about. Took some earlier this morning. Really early. I woke up early. So, Obsidian. Uh, so on YouTube, everyone knows Obsidian as well. Obsidian, and over here he's RU Kane. So, Spy and Queen still moving up, but price action is pretty slow. Wonder if we will see that in the stock as well, since the crazy during FOMO. Yep. So Oh, I am on queen. Durr. I don't know if I would say it's really slow. It's a little bit of incline. It's sitting at where it kind of stopped yesterday. um, Definitely could be interesting. It's been a little. We have not had like a huge spike like we did right here recently, but yesterday it was kind of strong. Yeah, it was good out of the gate, pulled back, and then it took off again. It did stall right near yesterday's high. We're near today's high. So I think there's a fairly good chance that this could still climb up. Maybe seeing. Um, I think we'll definitely. I think we'll cross or be around 420. I think 410 is quite possible. I think 420 is likely-ish. I don't know if I'm gonna take a bet on that because I'm not very good at gauging the ladies or spy yet. But that's just what I'm kind of thinking. We are sitting real close to yesterday's high. Where here it was sitting at yesterday's high, and it kind of did fairly well throughout the day. It did have the same pullback, but not the same like Queen did. But it's been a minute since we've had a big like that. Um, Tesla, on the other hand, I'm thinking Tesla is actually going to be bearish. I don't know if I'm going to trade that yet. It could go long, it could go bullish, but I think bearish. Amazon, I think long. Amazon is going to be the stock that I'm going to open up with. And we're going to hope for a good day. Oh, that was a good stretch. Let's get my smartwatch on. I don't always wear it, but all right. So, we're going to be going to the morning kind of slow. And we're going to see what it does. That was pretty expected. Probably start with a slightly smaller uh, buy-in right here. And for some reason, this watch is not connected to this phone, so I'm connecting it. I got two watches. I'm really bad at keeping them charged, so I got two of them. That way, one's always on the charger. And 30 seconds on the clock, and we're going to be live here really quick. Good luck to everyone trading. And it's now laggy, which I'm not a fan of. And I'm going to have to restart. Well, I'm green. There's that. Why does this happen? Like, sheesh. I'm gonna have to definitely get with TD Ameritrade because this is not working. Seriously, as soon as I started trading, it like boom stopped. Um, looks like Andy took a quick dip on Navita and made a really good 25-30% on it. And is up 500. So what he's talking about is right there where it dipped hard at open. Very smooth buy. But what sucks is that I can't do anything. I'm out of the races here. Amazon just took a bad hit, which I think would be a good buy area. Stop right there. Spy and Queen don't look like they're taking a huge hit. In the 200, that's the same size that I would have done um, with real money. So we'll find out if that works or doesn't work. This is still trying to close on me, and it's still not. It's very, very frustrating. Ford is doing pretty good. You can see almost $1,000 profit on it. I wish I took that trade with real money. I'm actually willing to move that down a little bit more. Low right there. Still not closing. Wow, Amazon just took a pretty big dump there. Tesla is actually doing better than I thought it was going to. Do that as a stop and go. Cover right there. This is one of the things I love about TradingView. Yeah, it's really easy to kind of like just click, slide. Same thing with TD Ameritrade, but you know, TD Ameritrade is having issues. If this doesn't break soon, I'm gonna want to get out. So we're gonna move that stop loss kind of close. We got out of that early, but that's fine. And TD finally closed. I hate when it does that. You see it finally closed out and the screen finally cleared out. That's how long it took. Yeah, Tesla. See, that's the thing with Tesla. It can change rapidly. Now, I'm actually going to probably switch to bullish. if it gets up there. All right. I think we're back. Yeah, we are. Yeah, that was a pretty big dip right there. Amazon is not doing well. I am green. We're not looking for big wins today. If we can just keep small, let's if we get another 200 in, that'd be great. I need a lot more than that, but you got to start somewhere, right? So as Amazon is starting to lose it, we're just gonna keep a look around. This still feels sluggish, and I don't like that. And Andy is killing it, so he's half out of his call now. And Tesla just broke that level on our paper. Oh, I did that wrong, man. It wasn't working the way I wanted to for some reason. I should have went and did it manually, but whatever. So, yeah. Amazon's not doing what I thought it was going to do, so I don't want to go chasing that. Although maybe buying. Shop took off. If we can get a free trade here, that'd be great. So that's going to be our free trade right there. If that works throughout today, great. Or not. I didn't think so. It was kind of close to the mark, but I did get in on an elevated area. Um, why is Walmart doing not very good? Probably not going to stay in this for too long, but I think this is still going to go down. Now that it's finding strength, it's kind of a little worrying. Well, that sucks. I should be getting out of it right now, but I feel bearish on it. That'll be my max right there. Yeah, see, I'm glad I stuck with that. I really almost just got out of that too. And I might just jump out while I can, but I kind of want to try to let this fall through. If it starts getting back up through the 40s, I probably would sell out, recover. I don't know if I want to just go ahead and get out while I can, or sit for a slightly better exit here. You know, I took a pretty big risk on it already. So we're back in the green. Hopefully we can just sit right here, let it continue to break through. Like I said, I was still pretty bearish on it. So the reason why I was bearish on it, it's kind of getting below here. I would like to see it drop below the 254. I just decided to go ahead and get out. Lost most of that profit. It's fine. It didn't keep breaking down like I was hoping it would. It got close to the 254 and it just stalled out. Yeah, see, now it would be back to where I would have been red on it. A little bit there. Not much. Um, we might just call it a day a little early. $54 up. That is a green day. Not by much. But I'll take it. I'm just not really getting a whole lot of what I'm looking for. I will buy that, and I'm gonna hold that. All right, that was not a bad little not a bad little deal. I'm playing with half sizing of what I normally would play with. So I'm not expecting to make a gazillion bucks today. But I'm at 99. I'm kind of happy with that. Um, Vita. So somebody took a trade on the Vita. Um, and it's hurting them right now. They need a pop up. Hopefully they'll get it. They're doing options. Wow. I just didn't know where I would want to try to jump in at. This seems like very jumpy. I don't know if I like that. So I think I'm gonna stay away from it. Let's go take a look at Ford. I'm up 50 cents. I'll put that there just as a protection. I won't lose much from that at all. Which is probably the reason why I should move it lower. Send below all of that. So this is definitely more of a swing trade. It's not really that much lower, but I feel confident with that. I'm gonna get punished. I was trying to buy it on a jump up, thinking that a crash is likely because the way the last candle was looking, and I just got punished for it. Wow. A little bit of an elevated buy. That's why I only did 100. I was thinking about trying to do two, but I'm hitting a new high now, a new HOD. So how much did I hit a new HOD? By only $10, give or take. But that was a decent little climb there. I wasn't quite sure how high it was going to go. I still think it's going to be kind of bullish. I just bought it on paper. So, bought it right here. I don't want to get into a situation where I'm trying to chase it and end up losing a lot of real. So, why is the sell stop not working? Okay, see? I'm happy I didn't do it. That was a little bit of a risky trade. But I just did it again on paper. We'll see what that does. That's a kind of tight stop loss. There's a good chance this was a little bit of a consolidation period. And I'm curious to see what that will shoot up to. But I need to step away for a second. So I'll be right back. Take a watch that. All right, I'm back. Of course. That did exactly what I thought I was going to do. Beautiful. Oh, I wish I was in that trade. Look at that. So we'll just flip this around to the other side, leave it right there. We'll let that run on paper. All right, cool deal. There's a very good chance that that could run a little bit further today. Hello, Andy. How you doing? Hey, Andy. I'm gonna have my microphone muted over here on Discord unless you have. Are you watching me on YouTube or no?
Yeah, I am. So you can just mute here and then I can hear you on YouTube.
All right, perfect. That's exactly the reason I was asking, so that way there's not like a double echo going on.
Yo, what is up? Okay.
So this is
Yeah,
Andy
so
and then Obsidian. So they're gonna be talking about a trade that they were
the
doing,
reason I
and
took a video like this morning at all was because we were all the way up at 500 yesterday. Then we opened and then we had a drastic move down to 491. So like when there's like such a like in my opinion, when the market opens up, it's not gonna like it always bounces or because there's so much volume in the morning, so it makes a lot of the trades that don't work later in the day work, and there's so much more volatility. Which is why, for example, yesterday with Tesla, I bought in Tesla super early yesterday. Like I buy in before the move happens because by the time you're confirmed like that the market's gonna go a certain direction, you're missing out on like 20% on the contracts already. Like in my like the morning, like the best time to buy any contract at all on like any stock is like when the premium is a bit lower, when like before the move has happened yet. So it is riskier that way because you have to technically predict what's gonna happen. But the payout is insane.
Oh,
Like
yeah. I mean, I get that. I mean, that's part of why I've been trying to move relatively slow because, one, you're going to make your move always before me, right? Because you're actively in the trade. And then so I got to look to see is the move still valid for me to get in, right? So
gotcha.
when I looked at it, I was like, okay, it looked like it surged up because it dropped. It had a long bottom and tail. I'm like, okay, even though the price had already moved, I'm like, okay, I thought there's still money to be made here.
Gotcha.
And I mean, if we look at Netflix now, I bought it at a dip on the 15 minute. I see long bottom wicks. Now that's not happening. So it may be a bad time that I jumped in, but like when you call out something, I do actually wait and I'm like, let me try to look at this candle real quick to see what it's doing.
Gotcha.
But if momentum swings, it swings because these stocks that you're looking at have a much wider spread than small caps.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little harder, not just for me to make the adjustment, but like you have a threshold as far as your losses. Mine is much smaller. So if I go into the Netflix and the videos, and I got my 100 something dollars stop loss, that could get blown out the water real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a like I guess that's the dangerous part when it comes to how I trade is I don't have a stop loss. If I get fucked, I'm gonna get fucked for like 25%.
Well, I mean, you have a dollar amount in your head. It's not a manual one, but obviously you have
Yeah,
a dollar
yeah.
amount.
Yeah. So basically how I go about it is that first dip trade I take,
Like I really like when it comes to trading in the morning, it's you really want to try to find the best value, bang for your buck kind of trade. For example, Nvidia, it looked like it could have kept going up, but when you think about it, it had a range from 490 up to the wick at like 496. That's a $5 range. So buying in the middle of that is a little on the riskier side. For example, if you waited a bit longer, you see how Netflix dropped from 490 at the high all the way down to 484. Buying around 485, 484, now that's like a good value trade. That's why I took that as my second trade of the day right there, is because like I like, yeah, it could drop a couple dollars. I could lose on this, but me buying there at the low, the risk management's a lot easier for me to like deal with because we either have a strong bounce and the call premium just spikes up hard and I make a ton of money instantly, or it might trickle a little lower. But because I'm already buying as at after a long drop, odds are it's not going to drop as much, or it's going to be like a slower, steady drop. So I don't have to like, I'm not going to lose a ton of money instantly.
Yeah, like right now, like I had bought one more contract for Netflix on that last dip. So my average now
Okay.
is 1.99. It's not the great, but it's better than where it was at 207. So right here, I'm in a better position because it's consolidating. If it drops below this consolidation, yeah, it could turn on me. So
Yeah. For me, the key to trading after 10 o'clock is to have
okay.
made profit that first 15, 30 minutes on like a good value trade. So for me, I'm pretty aggressive in the morning. Out the gate, I'm always aggressive. You know, if I see a nice dip, I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna do 5 contracts. Luckily, these last couple of days, they've been working out. Sometimes they don't. You know, sometimes I'm out the gate down 300 or something. But I only really keep trading once I have some profit locked in. Like for now, I have $600 locked in from Nvidia and Netflix. So I'm okay with holding these Netflix 500 calls. Even if these contracts drop down to 150, I lose $50 a contract times 5. I only lose 250 and I'd still lock up 400. That's why I'm kind of like okay with holding this right now. So for me, I don't really take these like long couple hour long holds. Not sure where it's gonna go unless I'm already up on the day. So since I'm up on the day, I'm okay with holding it. So for example, for you, you're up 100 on the day. And how many Netflix contracts you have? You have 2, maybe?
I got 2.
2. Yeah, so, you know, like bad case scenario, even if we do drop down to 180 or so on the contracts, 175. So on that low, it dropped down to 176 was the low on those contracts. So you kind of tell yourself, if it drops back down there, your worst case scenario is you're going to lose $50. You'd still be up on the day. Yeah, it takes away some of your profit, but you're still up on the day. And that's kind of how you have to think about it when you're holding like right now. My best trades, most of my money will come from those quick dip buys that like instantly get bought back up. Like Nvidia, I bought right at the open, instantly bought back up. Yesterday on Tesla, we dipped down to that 252. I bought in 2 minutes later, 256. You know, like those are like my bread and butter trades. And luckily, very luckily, the market the last couple months, or has been like insanely bullish. And it's so easy to trade this way. And I feel like it's important to like milk your strategy as much as it can. So that's what I'm doing now. Is just like every time there's a dip in the morning, I buy it up and it works out. It gets bought up. So I'm just basically gonna keep doing it every day until the strategy stops working, the market sentiment changes. But for now, like all I'm doing is looking for those like early dips that have good risk to reward and taking them.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get a little better with my setup configuration because like with TOS, I have to, go through the option screen, copy the contract, paste it into the chart, before I even click a button.
Gotcha. Yeah, that
because I don't do just like the whole right click and say buy, right? Because then it brings up a trade ticket, and it may be fast, or maybe I gotta test it and see how
so
difference
um
work.
do you have like a one monitor setup? Do you have two monitors?
I have two, but it's not really two. I have my laptop monitor and then I have another monitor. So my laptop monitor I'll use to look at the option chain, and then I have a second
Okay.
monitor where I got it split into two, where I could see
So I would
the contract and then the stock.
okay, so you probably have to try to detach the options chain so that you can like have it on a second screen.
Yeah,
And then you can always pin it.
you could detach it, or the other thing you can do is
Um,
use
Well,
the
I'm going to be getting
numbers.
some bigger screens, so that's going to help. So and now I'm working with a whatever 14 and a 21. So I'm moving up to
gotcha.
a 27. So I'll have a little bit more real estate. Um, because one of the problems I had just with stocks is that like I would zoom in because like I can't see. So I'm zooming
Gotcha.
in, but then I'm missing the pattern overall. So I'm gonna be making some changes for the new year that hopefully will help me have a more streamlined
Yeah, because
type of thing to
I've
move.
so I trade on, Thinkorswim. So I basically I'm just clicking the ask and selling the like I'm just clicking the ask and bid when I enter trades. I assume you can do the same on Thinkorswim TOS, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But because their entries are so bad, like that's one of the reasons why I always start off with one and then I average in. Because like when I
Okay.
buy and whatnot, if I join the ask, which is basically, the same thing as what you were saying, like that crap could sit there. So that's why like sometimes when I'm like, damn it, it's not taking it, I'm almost forced to click flatten, which is sell the market, because TOS just refuses to sell me the hell out. It's like,
Uh,
and it's not just me. It's just like they obviously there are other brokers that are willing to whatever you pay for. So like when I was on Fidelity yesterday and I did my test, this was the crazy thing. So Fidelity wasn't that much faster selling me out. Fidelity has this feature where they give you price savings, right? So basically in TOS, if I click buy market, and I'm going to try to get it for a lower price, it's going to put me at whatever's the worst price. Fidelity literally saved me 6 cents yesterday when I was in the Tesla options. 6 cents is huge. So basically, Fidelity was like, "Oh, well, the price is going down. When this guy clicked buy, we're giving it to him at whatever that lower price was. We didn't give it to him at his
mm,
limit, at that limit price. So like it's like night and day. But Fidelity is not good for day trading. It doesn't have
gotcha.
the same robust level of interface. So when I was
Yeah,
trying to get out, I was like, man, I'm clicking away over here at Fidelity. But the price improvement feature that's built in was tons better than what Thinkorswim is doing.
gotcha. Yeah, so actually, when it comes to like my first couple of trades of the day, I usually mark it in. So, like for example, when it's a trade I really know I want to get into, but I know it's going to be too fast for me. Like you could see my Nvidia trade, the first entry, that was a market entry because I knew that I would not be fast enough for the limit price. So I sent a screenshot. But yeah, so for me, I try to pick and choose where I mark it in and limit out. Actually, they gave me a 10 cents better fill on my limit because I limit out at 485 and they gave me 495. But
Yeah, so Steve, TOS doesn't do anything like that. Not even close. So that's why when I did that thing with Fidelity yesterday, I was like, how the hell did I get this 6 cent? Well, I mean, I know they already had it, but it was just such a surprise how much of a difference it was, because as far as exiting, it gave me a better range of when I could exit out, when I could break even if it's turning against me. You know what I mean? So it was like,
yeah,
I
all
was
right,
like, daggone it, TOS.
I'm watching for this 1030 move on Netflix. If we don't get a move up into 490 plus, I'm gonna get out. It's not really moving right now, so I mean I'm gonna give it these next couple minutes. Probably by 10:35 if it doesn't have a big move on the dip.
Yeah. I'm looking at the 5 and the 15, and it's getting weak. I mean, it has a long top and tail still, but it's starting to get a little weak. But I'm hoping that means it's gonna break up.
Yeah,
Just want to see if it.
I like the 30-minute chart, or it looks good enough for me to like keep holding, but yeah, so when it comes to like taking that first trade of the day, if it's right out the open 9:30, 9:31, 9:32, it's probably going to be a market entry for me.
And it's whether or not and if it's a dip buy, it's whether or not you've gotten low enough on the dip where it makes sense to jump in.
Yeah, so all my dip buys, they're gonna be like before 9:45 usually. I don't really, because the thing is, if you think about it, the market loves to trend. So usually after 10 o'clock, 10:15, you just gotta play with the trend. Like if it's going up, most likely it's gonna slowly chop and just kind of keep going up. You're not gonna see anything like super drastic. So when you're taking like, they always say like, oh, don't try to catch a falling knife. Don't try
Yeah.
to, dip buy. Don't like, play the trend. I would agree, but not the first 30 minutes of the day. Like the first 30 minutes of every like trading day, there's so much volatility. There's so much swings up and down. You can do anything. You can trade any way you want the first 30 minutes. And I think it's all about just finding a strategy that works for you within like that you can handle playing like the volatility. And for me, that's taking these dip buys at prices that I'm comfortable with, especially when it's a stock I've been watching for a long time, and it's a stock that I believe has room to go higher.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not going to be randomly trading some stock I don't know, but you know, for it's like Netflix has been on a crazy move up. Tesla's been on a crazy move up the last couple weeks. You gotta think about it. Intraday, when people see a bunch of these dips going on, they're gonna, try to FOMO in. They're gonna buy the dips the same way we are. So as long as we're getting in at a good price, we're out way before like, we're taking that scalp, minute or two, we're out of there. And that's how I always try to trade that first 30 minutes. It's really just that first 30 minutes, you scalp in and out, and you take your profit, you build
Okay,
up.
let them know that's what
That
you want.
way, once it's past that 10 a.m., you can take a trade where you can like
I
hold it with
can't
less
give you an answer
size
on that one.
and just kind of let it chill. Like right now, I have 5 Netflixes, but I'm not sweating at all. I'm just chilling. I'm holding it. I'm just gonna let Netflix do its thing. If it doesn't work out,
I can't
I'm gonna lose a bit of my
give
profit,
you
but
an
I've
answer on
already
that
like
one.
factored that in, you know? Like right here, if Netflix drops back below 488.50, if we get back under there, I'm probably gonna give up on this
You
trade.
can let. Okay, all right.
Just kind of
That's
from
going to be the
No,
key for
you can
me,
tell them
right?
that's
Like,
what you want.
I
You're
and I keep calling it a
it
buffer.
whatever.
The
That's fine.
sooner I could get into a buffer zone, without making dumb mistakes, obviously,
yeah,
um, the the better I can make additional plays as the day moves forward.
Yes,
yeah.
Depending on how many I take. So I was happy with
yes.
Tesla. I mean, Tesla's still going up. I could have probably got some more contracts in on that, as the
Give them a
morning went.
call.
But
Let them know that's what you want to do
uh,
or whatever.
that
And yeah, that's
$100,
fine.
before fees is what helped me stay in Nvidia. Um,
I'm
even
glad you did
though
stay in it because it would have been a it would have been really bad for you if you sold at the bottom and then it spiked all the way back up. That would have been
Okay.
devastating.
yeah, because that would have taken basically back,
What
my
the
gains
fuck?
from last week and yesterday,
Yeah.
which definitely would have sucked. But even though I'm not as familiar with Nvidia, I do know that it moves like Tesla. It moves like Netflix. You know, these things have these big swings, and the thing is whether or not it's moving up. It's only when I looked at the daily that I was like, oh man, I might be in trouble because Nvidia is getting weak. That's the same can't be said for Tesla and Netflix. They're still relatively strong on the daily.
Yeah.
Um, so I was
I
like,
like
man, I hope
Netflix,
this
but
isn't the day it reverses.
I'm not seeing the volume I want to see yet, so I don't really believe in this move yet. If we can get some of that green volume coming in, then I'm gonna trust it. For now, I mean, it's moving in our direction, but I need to see more volume confirmation.
Yeah, and like right now with Netflix, I'm gonna move out or I'm gonna dump if it goes back to
Break even, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what
it's
I
gonna be
would do
like
too.
it has room to get to yesterday's high of day. That's where I want to see it move to. Um, and if it's gonna make one of these stupid swing lows where it's like, oh, I'm gonna decide to swing low, but drop, $5 during that time. It's like, okay, let me get
Yeah.
out of
But
here.
yeah, I mean, like
But
you're just kind of getting into option trading like the past week, and like I think you've been doing great, dude. I think it's just everyone's gonna find their own strategy, what works. Like there are some people that I know personally that don't do the dip buying. They'll do breakout trading instead. So they'll wait for the first couple minutes. They'll look for like a leg up, and then once we kind of get back to that price and we break out, they'll enter then, and then have like a stop right below. And it works for like, when the stock has a lot of momentum. I find those trades to be a little riskier, so I don't do that super often unless I've already made like profit. I tried to do a breakout trade on Tesla, and that backfired on me earlier. Ended up losing like $70 on it or something. But I think it's just,
well,
once you find your strategy that works for you, you just stick with it and keep going.
yeah, and for me, part of it, and, I've mentioned to multiple times just in the chats that risk management is my biggest Achilles heel, and once that gets, kind of minimized, then I'm in a position where uh, the challenge isn't really a challenge, if that makes sense. Like it's
Yeah.
just more like you. I'm just managing whatever the day brings me. It's not like, oh man, what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I would not recommend more than two contracts on Nvidia for your size. Nvidia, I would probably only do one contract for your size. Nvidia, because if you think about it, Nvidia options are really expensive. It's double the price of like Tesla. Those $500 calls on Nvidia, those were $400 contracts. So yeah, like whenever you get too confident and you get aggressive, that's when the market gets you.
Oh, yeah,
Man,
definitely.
if this I need Netflix to get bought back up. If we drop below this 489, I'm gonna give up on it. It's just a little too choppy. I'm still in now because it bounced, but if we kept going down there, if we closed red, I would have gotten out.
Yeah,
I
yeah. I
really
was
like
looking.
how it looks now though. I really like that the fact that it bounced back.
Well, I like the fact that it gapped up. I don't like the fact that it's red.
Yeah, and if you look, like the volume is really not there. That's why there's a gap, is because there's just not much volume. The prices are skipping like 20, 30 cents at a time just because the volume's so low. Like,
Yeah.
look, like we're spiking here, but I want to see like volume tell me that this is like the way we're gonna keep going. Um, if we get a couple candle where the green volume keeps pouring in, like right now, this candle has about like has 6,000 volume. So I'm trying to see like 10,000 volume on the next candle, especially because we're gonna be at 490 on this next push up here. That'll give me confirmation that we can keep going up if we like buy it up. Because then we could see new high a day, which would be 491. That would be amazing. But oh, you see how like we're getting that volume now. Like we're hitting these bigger prices, and you see we had 6,000 volume, 8,000 volume that last candle. All of a sudden, we're at 7,000 volume on this candle here. So like on these 1 minute charts, it's important to watch the volume. If we get increasing volume, it could spike harder, but it just rejected so freaking hard. Oh my gosh.
So now I'm gonna wait to see if it bounces
Yeah,
halfway or the second candle winds up being red.
yeah, this is the only bad thing about trading low.
All right, guys, I'm done trading. Yeah, I'm done. I'm out. See you guys.